everybody, my name is Eric Hopkins and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're finding me for the very first time, please click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. So apparently, since the Suicide Squad film is coming out in a few weeks here, it has been getting some early reviews and screenings for critics. And apparently, so far, the movie is getting early reactions that are positive. So let's go over here and check out the reactions that are now online from the direct.com. Here's where this article comes from. Ahead of its August 6th release date, the first reactions to James Gunn's upcoming film, The Suicide Squad, have hit social media. People magazine writer Kara Warner, a self-admitted skeptic, said this on Twitter. So this skeptic loved The Suicide Squad. It is balls to the wall bonkers in very entertaining ways, i.e., if you're wondering whether James Gunn and that super rad Suicide Squad cast would truly go there with the material and the R rating, indeed they do. So wow, that's promising. Drew Taylor, co-host of Light the Fuse podcast, alongside contributing to sites such as Collider and Vanity Fair, says the film is, quote, gloriously insane and so fun. He wrote, The Suicide Squad is gloriously insane and so fun. After watching it, you'll think you might have dreamed it. Everyone is excellent and deeply committed to the material and its singular mood and wild-ass aesthetic. Can't wait to ride this roller coaster again. Film critic Fico Cangiano also had high praise for the film, wrote, it is fantastic. A no-holds-barred superhero comics bonanza, unpredictable in story, unique in style, and full of risks. It's also violent and hilarious. Action set pieces are insane. Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and rest of the cast are awesome. James Gunn has done it again. That's something I love to hear because I love the Guardians movies personally. Even the second one, which is underrated in my opinion. Eric Davis from Fandango and Rotten Tomatoes wrote, I had the best time watching The Suicide Squad. It is a swing for the fences kind of comic book movie, and I love that. It's big, bold, and visually stunning. You will see James Gunn's horror roots splattered all over this thing. It's violent but hilarious, angry but also very sweet. Film critic Jorge Rivera, I believe. I can't remember if that's true or how you pronounce his name. But anyway, The Suicide Squad is a blast. Great action, lots of humor, and fun twists with an awesome soundtrack. James Gunn does it again. So James Gunn breaking out those soundtracks again, huh? Call me if you get lost on Twitter. Apparently he has a podcast. He said, I recently got to see The Suicide Squad on IMAX, which was an ill experience. James Gunn took full advantage of that hard R, delivering a big bad of madness. That's the most James Gunn film I've ever seen. The best choice for a Suicide Squad film, in my opinion. Nathaniel Braille at the Heroic Hollywood also gave his opinion and said, The Suicide Squad is not only my favorite DC movie, it's easily James Gunn's best film. It's insane fun and filled with laughs and is exactly what Task Force X should be. So yeah, this is all great. I always try to take these early reviews with a massive grain of salt though, because a lot of times critics will, tout how good something is up front and right away. And sometimes when you go see the movie, you're like, okay, it's not nearly as good as you claimed it was. However, it's always good to hear nothing but positive things for the Suicide Squad. DC needs a win. Let's be totally honest. I love the stuff that DC has done, but I'm also excited for what DC has lined up. And this movie right here is one of the first in that long lineup that they have over the next year or two going forward. And I'm actually looking forward to all those films. So it's nothing but good news to me that James Gunn seems to have hit a home run here with the Suicide Squad. Again, we shouldn't expect any less here. He did a great job with the Guardians of the Galaxy films. So I had no doubt that this was going to be hilarious, lots of fun, and some great action. And it sounds like he took full advantage of the R rating as well. So there's going to be certain jokes and stuff in here, I'm sure, that it may not be for children, but you need to know that going in. So I'm definitely excited about this. I can't wait to see this movie in a couple weeks when it drops in theaters and on HBO Max. So it'll be one of those things you can watch at home if you don't want to take your family out to the theater right now. So that's going to be great. Part of me wants to see this in a movie theater, though, because I want to have that experience with an audience to where you hear the jokes and whether or not they land or not with some other audience members. Sometimes when you're sitting at home, you kind of like, okay, would that have been funny to other people, or was it just me who thought it was funny, or it didn't hit for me, but would other people have laughed at that? So I kind of like to have that experience when it comes to comedy in movies. It kind of gives me a barometer of whether or not the movie's working or not. So I'll probably go check this one out in a movie theater if I could definitely help it, because I thought Black Widow was one of those I ended ended up watching it at home. I thought, you know, it had some comedy in it, but it wasn't so much to where I felt like I needed that part of the experience. So I was happy watching it at home on Disney Premier Access. But in this case, I'm looking forward to checking this out. But the real question here is, guys, what do you guys think about the early reactions for the Suicide Squad film directed by James Gunn? They're very positive, seems like, for a lot of people who've seen it already. But the real question here is, guys, what do you guys think about the movie? Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's going to be yet another DC flop? Comment down below. Let me know, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. And until my next video, guys, take care.